Shalom, Grand Rising, Osio, Halito. Welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. I'm your brother Daniela, aka the Copper Collab Original. And before I get started, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to the power of Israel. That being the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God of Israel. Our God, our power. And forgive my hair. I know my hair looking rough and everything. But I want to give recognition to the Holy Spirit and recognition to Yahweh Shai. Many salutes, much love, much ahab to you brothers and sisters who are keeping the will of our power to the best of your abilities. So with that being said, welcome to the video. I'm a little sweaty right now. I actually just got in the house back from work, and it's hot outside. It's like 84 degrees. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I wanted to make a quick video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I wanted to make a video essentially talking about, the situation that happened in Buffalo. I pray that you brothers and sisters out there, I pray that you keep yourself safe. I pray that you're, staying out of harm's way. And of course, you can't predict when someone's going to be crazy, right? But if this teaches us anything, really, is to have a legitimate relationship with the power of Israel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you have to be perfect, because none of us are perfect, but truly striving after the power of Israel, truly striving after his heart, right? And not just to keep yourself safe, right? That's a byproduct of the Most High's will. That's his will, if he's going to keep you safe whether or not. There's people who were super righteous and he let their lives be taken, for his reason, for his purpose. But, to have a legitimate relationship with the power of Israel, so that if you do die, you get to have a life eternal, right? You get to spend the rest of your existence in paradise with the Father. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going through chastisements or coming back around in a cycle trying to get yourself right? Nobody wants to restart over. And yeah, I'm talking about reincarnation because it's real. It's real. Sorry, a little congested. Sorry, I had to clear myself out real quick. But yeah, it happens. It happens to people who didn't make it. I'm just going to keep it short and simple. You come back around to try again. If you were a terrible person, if you were a bad person, you come back around again, just with chastisements happening to you. And if you're just a abomination to existence, you go to another place. But anyways, getting back on point. We need to have a real relationship with the power of Israel, because you never know when your time is going to be over. You never know when it's time for you to meet your God, to meet your maker. And I'm talking to you so-called Negroes and our descendants, right? You never know. And I'm talking about American Negroes, right? And our descendants. I'm talking about Israelites and our descendants. I'm talking about the American Aboriginals, whatever you want to call us so-called Negroes and our descendants, whether they're mixed or not. If they're of Israelite stock, I'm talking to you. Get a real relationship with the power of Israel, who is your God, right? Get that real relationship. Because you don't know when your time is. You don't know when you're going to be judged. And you want to love your God. You want to be on your good side. See, your soul is always in combat with your flesh. You want to do right. You want to do right. But your flesh is always trying to get you to do wrong, which in Pisces Sophia is known as the counterfeit spirit. It's not the legitimate spirit. Your legitimate spirit wants to do the right thing, but your flesh wants you to do the wrong thing. It wants you to hate God. It wants you to do everything against him. But your spirit wants you to do the right thing. It wants you to love God. So get a legitimate relationship with the power of Israel, who is your God, right? The God we read about in parts of the Bible. The one who led us through the wilderness, the one who gave us the commandments. Follow that God. That is our God, right? But also, another thing that it teaches, this situation should teach us, is to tell your family and show your family how much you love them, because you never know when it's going to be the last time you're going to see them. You know what I'm saying? Not just tell your family, but show them that you love them. Because you never know. You think these people who got shot up, you think these brothers and sisters who got shot up at the store was expecting to just go to the store and get shot up? No. No, they weren't. They weren't. You know. And that's sad, you know, because now their family is dealing with this tragic situation. You know. It's sad, but, you know, that's why it's important to tell your family, to show your family how much you truly love them, because you never know when it's going to be your last time seeing them. You never know when it's going to be your last time speaking to them, your last goodbye, you know. So let your family know often how much you love them, how much you care about them. Show them how much you love them, how much you care about them, you know. But, you know, another thing that I think is important is I am a firm believer that we should carry firearms. Of course, you know, with you having a relationship with the power of Israel, you're going to have faith that he's going to protect you. But the power of Israel didn't make any fools. You know what I'm saying? Hell, even Yahushua told his disciples to buy swords. You see what I'm saying? So, he told them to have 2 swords. So, it's not, I know some brothers don't believe in carrying firearms and so on and so forth. But I believe if you are capable and you are able to, get one, because you never know when that situation may happen to you, and then you can be there to protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, and people around you. You see what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I gotta get back into the habit of it because we got 2 vehicles. So my personal carry is in one vehicle, and it's not a vehicle that I drive. Right? I don't even have a mount in that car for my firearm like I do the other car. But this just reminded me that, hey, you know, I feel like this was a warning from the power of Israel, not only to me, but to all of us. Hey, protect yourself. You know, not only walk circumspectively, but be aware of your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? And the environment that you're in. We're in a hostile environment. You know what I'm saying? We are essentially, you know, captives in our own land. And we got to understand that we are amongst our enemies all the time. Just the other day, you know, I was out and about, and I was crossing the street to go over to my truck, right? And a white guy walked right behind me. Even though he greeted me and said hi, you know, I still had my head on a swivel checking him, because I know how Esau is. Esau is the type of people, these Gentiles, what they do, they say hi and then they stab you and run off that quick, or do some crazy stuff. I've seen videos. Of people doing it. These Gentiles doing it to unsuspecting people. So we have to understand what environment we live in, and we have to be wise. We have to prepare ourselves for the situation that we're in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be scared at all. Don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? But be wise and move wisely. Because, you know, if you get taken out, your family may suffer greatly because of it. Not only emotionally, but also financially. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is in my situation. My situation right now, because my wife, she doesn't work right now because she takes care of our child. I'm the sole provider, you know, the sole breadwinner right now in my household, because my wife, you know, is taking care of our child, and she's not able to do both at the same time because her job is a unique job. You see what I'm saying? So if I were to die, if I had died in that situation, my family would be devastated financially. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we got friends and family that would definitely help out my wife. She wouldn't have to worry, you know. But and then of course I have life insurance and stuff like that would take care of them after I'm gone. But you know, a lot of people don't have it like that, and I think that is wise to carry. There's nothing wrong with it. If your enemy can carry a weapon, why don't you do it? I mean, honestly, brothers gonna have their own opinions, sisters gonna have their own opinions, but really, I feel like they're invalid, because, you know, there's no reason to. If you're able to, why not? Why let your enemy get the best of you? Why let your enemy have the advantage over you? That makes no sense to me at all. But so yeah, it's so funny because I even seen a video of a brother who made a video going off on sisters, man. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real and tell you who it is. It was the brother Seed of Israel. I had nothing to watch today. He's one of those brothers that if I have nothing to watch, I'll check out, see what he's saying. But the brother literally went off on sisters today, and then towards the end, he because at first he was generalizing, right? Then at the end, he tried to distinguish, like, oh, I'm talking about wicked sisters. I'm not talking about righteous sisters. I'm like, man, you should have did that at the beginning. You should have let everybody at the beginning know who you were talking about instead of waiting till the end to say, oh yeah, I'm just talking about the wicked sisters. Nah, bruh. That's not how it works. I think the power of Israel showed how your spirit truly feels about our women. This is a brother who called himself an Israelite, who calls himself keeping the laws of the power of Israel. Yet I feel that his true self showed in that video. He just dropped this video either this morning or yesterday. Saying that, and his reason for cursing sisters and saying what he said, well, I'm not gonna say that he was cursing sisters, but he was essentially saying, be careful of who you what do you say, scoff, or who you mock, or something like that. Be careful who you mock, because so on and so forth. Because essentially what he was saying is that these sisters who died, because I believe all the victims that they have released up until now have been so-called African American women, right? And he's linking this to a spiritual connection with Kevin Samuel's death. I'm like, dude, if you don't get the I mean, he literally called sisters bitches, and I'm like, dude, you really tripping. He said, you bitches is wicked. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, you man, I mean, it's crazy. How you gonna link these sisters being massacred to Kevin Samuels? If anything, all it's gonna do is just give the misogynists, even more of. I mean, well, the people who call Kevin Samuels a misogynist, it's gonna give them even more ammunition, right? It's gonna give those feminists, sorry, that's what I meant to say, feminists, even more ammunition, saying, see, look. Especially the ones who hate black men, they're gonna be like, see, look, this black man was so evil towards black women, calling them all types of names, so on and so forth. Talking about Kevin Samuels, right? Disrespecting them, blah, 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 blah. He died. Now, you have a man who killed a bunch of sisters, a bunch of black women, and so on and so forth. And now you got a man on the internet who's talking about calling these women bitches. And I'm telling you, man, I mean, he should have, honestly, I felt like with him having a platform that he should have been more careful instead of being in his emotions, because it's obvious that the brother Seed of Israel was in his emotions and what he said. How you gonna connect those two? So you mean to tell me that the power of Israel had all these sisters, and possibly even brothers too, but all these sisters as of now, as it stands, the names of the victims that were released were women, right? So you're telling me that the power of Israel, the God of Israel, the God of these women who were killed, he was like, you know what? Because Kevin Samuels died, even though Kevin Samuels was a wicked man, I'm going to kill these women because black women who hate Kevin Samuels are making fun of him. I'm going to kill these black women who have nothing to do with that situation. Does that even make any sense? So he's going to... It's not even like, I can understand if it was like the whole what was it, Elias situation, right? Where the little kids, this story this story always cracks me up though. Where the little kids called Elias baldy, right? And then he called the two sows, the mother bears, out of the wilderness, and they came and massacred those children. I think it was like 40-some children they got massacred. Oh man, rest in peace to them little wicked little seeds. But they're probably back around again. They're probably one of us. I could probably be one of those children back in reincarnation. But it's not like it's one of those situations, right? To where Kevin Samuels was a saint. He was righteous. And then these evil sisters came along, and now the power of Israel has to pick a group of women to sacrifice, to slay for Kevin Samuels being disrespected. That makes no sense. Kevin Samuels, he was a wicked man. It was obvious. He even told you that he said in many of his videos that our God, because he's referring to our God, because whenever sisters say they're Christians, whenever they say they were Christians on there, he will always refer to our God, because we know our women believe that they believe that they have a relationship with the God of Israel, right? Well, every time when they mention they're Christians, he will always say, "Why do you depend on a imaginary man in the sky?" He literally said that. I've seen probably 3 different videos where he said that. So this man is wicked. Obviously, he doesn't believe in the power of Israel. So you mean to tell me that the power of Israel is going to slay on his behalf? That makes absolutely no sense, seed of Israel. Just because you lifted Kevin Samuels up, and he tried to say that he's not lifting him up as an angel or whatever. No, you did, because you're literally saying that the power of Israel has slain these sisters for Kevin Samuels. And mind you, a lot of these sisters, I'm not laughing at these sisters. I'm just thinking how goofy Seed of Israel's mindset is. Some of these sisters who died were in their 70s. You think that they were really on YouTube listening to Kevin Samuels? Do you even think that they probably even know who Kevin Samuels are? I mean, these women are at 55, 70-something years old. You think they really knew? These were grannies shopping. And you really think that they knew who Kevin Samuels was? Are you kidding me? So, I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. Rest in peace to those sisters who were murdered, massacred, may the power of Israel, get vengeance, not only for our sisters, but for our people. Because this ain't nothing new. This shit has been going on for centuries. And yeah, I uploaded a video the other day talking about slavery and all that stuff, right? And I'm going to clarify some things. Yes, there was chattel slavery with our people here in the United States, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't exactly like how they try to tell us that we were brought over here from Africa on ships. Deuteronomy 28:68, that was talking about the trans-American slave trade, where they were literally taking us on ships they were taking us from Florida to parts of the Caribbean. They were taking brothers from the Caribbean, taking them to Mexico. From Mexico to other places in the Caribbean, to places in Louisiana. From Louisiana to the Caribbean. From North Carolina to Africa. Now that was a part of if you want to say anything, it was a transatlantic slave trade. Look at Amistad, where they literally took thousands, and Amistad is just one situation, but they literally took thousands of our people who were the true American Indians and took them to different places. They took them over to Africa, West Africa. They even took them to Northern Africa. They took them to, what's that island off the coast of Africa? What's her face's? The bald blonde haired chick that Wiz Khalifa had a child with and Kanye was with. They took them to her island. They even took them to Europe. So if you want to talk about any transatlantic slave trade, that's what it was. It was in reverse. But chattel slavery didn't last long here in the United States. Yeah, they did attack us, and in Americas too. Chattel slavery, if you look at the actual history of chattel slavery, it did not last long. Chattel means that it means property, essentially. And the time where people were actually treated like property, sold off, beaten, killed, and stuff like that, that was, and where they could not leave, they couldn't do anything at all. That was towards the beginning of their conquest of the Americas, right? Then later on, they started to liberate them. Once when they started to Christianize them, right? And then the black Europeans that were being brought over here, and even the white Europeans that were being brought over here, they were the first indentured servants, right? A lot of people don't know is that the American Indians, a few things happened to us, right? We were massacred and killed off, right? We were massacred, we were killed off, okay? And the ones who survived those massacres, they fled. They fled further west, okay? And then the other ones who were massacred and survived, or even they probably wasn't even massacred, they decided to join in as allies to the invaders. They decided to become allies to the invaders, and they decided to assimilate and settle down and become a part of the forming and emerging countries. So yeah, the whole chattel thing where they came over here and just like decimating us, killing us, and enslaving us and selling us off for wine and all that stuff, that didn't happen very long in the Americas. They will tell you that it did, but it did not. When you look and you read through these history books, and I'm not talking about the books that you read in school. I'm talking about books that were written in the 1800s. They'll tell you everything, everything. A lot of our people were sharecroppers. A lot of our people were indentured servants, to where we actually went home at the end of the day. We just had to fulfill our contracts. There was, like I said in another video, there was a few situations, very few situations, where people became servants for life, right? So anyways, back to what I was saying, may the power of Israel file vengeance for these sisters and all of our people throughout the centuries that have been massacred by our enemies. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to, our brothers and sisters who are dealing with spirits, unclean spirits, spirits of depression, and so on and so forth. Because I just read this morning there was a young sister, freshman, beautiful young sister. She may not have been living the life she needed to be living, of course, but I'm not going to let her, the way she dressed, all that stuff, not make me have empathy for her, because a lot of our people are like that. They're like, oh, well, look at the way she dressed. She was a harlot. She's where she belongs. And what about having empathy for our people, right? We're supposed to love our people. Yeah, our people are wicked, but so are we. So are we going to hit ourselves every time we sin? No. A lot of our people are ignorant. They don't know better. It's our job to teach them. And even sometimes if they're, they don't want to listen, we love them from a distance. You know what I'm saying? To where we're not harming ourselves because we want them to get right. Okay? But there was this young sister. I can't remember her name. But she was a student down at Southern University. And my sister's, I'm sorry, I said my sister's. My wife's brother, he graduated from Southern University. But there was this young girl down there who died. She committed suicide just not too long ago. And, if you are dealing with that type of spirit, or if you know someone who's dealing with that type of spirit, get them help. Get them help. And if you are in this walk, which meaning you're dealing with the power of Israel, guide these people. Show them true love and compassion, and show them how good their God truly is and why they should not take their lives. But find them help. Find them help. You know what I'm saying? But rest in peace to that young sister. And rest in peace to all of our other brothers and sisters that have taken their lives, because a lot of them just don't have that support system that they need, But anyways, getting back to the main subject, people, we gotta protect ourselves. I'm telling you, we gotta protect ourselves. We cannot allow ourselves to be victims. This is how I've always felt. The power of Israel has always given me a warrior spirit, but he hasn't given me a spirit of stupidity to where I'm just going to be emotional and not think and always want to fight. I used to be like that at a point in time in my life, but the power of Israel has, opened my mind, you know what I'm saying? But I have never been a person that says, sit down and die. Hell no, that has never been me. I'm like, if you're going to take me out, you're gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna take me out, you're gonna feel it. It ain't gonna be no easy task. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like all of us should be that same way. You know what I'm saying? So if you're able to get yourself a firearm, get yourself a firearm. I'm gonna, I'm gonna actually show you guys a little bit of what I'm rocking with right here. Oh yeah, shout out to the brother Wanagi. I seen you. This wasn't scripted, by the way. But yeah, look at it. Right there. Right here. Here's another one. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even all of them. That's not even all of them. You know what I'm saying? So how I feel is that, and I'm just showing you guys because it was just right there in the room. But I was showing you guys not only because it was right there, but to show you guys that I'm not BSing. I'm not one of those people who talk like, "Hey, get yourself a firearm," and don't even have one myself. I have several firearms. That's just only a few of them. You know what I'm saying? I have other firearms. Oh, wait, hold up. Is it right here? Let me see. Nah, it's not even up here. I'm surprised. Oh yeah, here it is. Another one. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, unscripted stuff, but yeah, I mean, I truly feel like that's what you should do. And it's not like I'm paranoid. Like, I'm not paranoid at all. If I was paranoid, I'd be everywhere with my gun and stuff like that. But, jokes aside, I do feel like we need to do that as a people. We need more of our people to carry, because if they know that we're carrying, they're more than likely not going to try you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I believe our people should carry firearms. Concealed carry. Go and get your concealed carry license if you're able to